Hey guys, how's it going? It's your Dokkan Tuber back with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment with any cool and fun video ideas you guys have for us. We appreciate the support and feedback. Today we will be continuing our Dokkan Battle Summon Rewinder series where we look at the past Dokkan Festival summons, summon on them, and then talk about the units that are on them. The featured units especially, and we talk about how they are relevant to today's game. So today we're going to be doing the STR Goku and Vegeta banner. This came along with the Buhan banner, which we will, or Buhan or Butang's, one of them, I can't remember. And we'll also summon on that for the next video, so tune in for that one. So yeah, we're going to do 500 stones and let's see what we can get away with. So first multi, we got 2 featured units, that's very solid. Okay, wow, we got another featured unit. Okay, so we got TN, he was featured, he's really good, and then the SS4 Goku LR, so I'm very happy with that. And we got another Bardock. AGL Vegeta, he's a little controversial, honestly. And yeah, that's our multis. So we got 1 SS4 Goku, 2 Int Vegetas, 1 Transforming Goku, 3 Bardocks, a SS2 Goku, 2 TNs, and a Vegeta. So we obviously didn't get the main unit, or Intel R-Cell, some of the other feature units, but I think that's a pretty solid haul for, only 500 stones. The first unit we're going to talk about is the STR Goku and Vegeta. So they have the Battle of Wits or Majin Buu Saga, Ki plus 3, HP 130, attack and defense 170, so good category. Super attack, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does Colossal. Next one, same thing but does Mega Colossal. Nothing too crazy, but just solid. And the passive is attack or defense 120, reduces damage received by 30, plus an additional Ki plus 1 per type Ki sphere obtained. Medium chance of launching additional super attack. Very solid passive. I mean, 120 is obviously still a relevant stat boost, especially being that it's an LR. And then along with that, you get the damage received minus 30, so that's very strong. So yeah, it makes up for not having that much defense. And then you get an extra Ki plus 1 per type Ki sphere obtained. That's really big, so it allows you to Ultra Super almost always and very consistently, so that's good. And the medium chance is just a nice bonus to have, so I like the passive. And the active skills Performance Portara Fusion can be activated when HP is 77% or less starting from the 4th turn. That's not too hard because you get to, I mean, if you're taking hits from Sewer Battle Road, you're going to be at, half HP, maybe a little more. And 4th turn is pretty reasonable. And the super stays the same. And then, so you recover 50% HP, it's a very strong effect. Then you get attack and defense 150, medium chance of performing a critical hit, counters with tremendous power when you get hit by your normal attacks, plus an additional Ki plus 1 per Ki sphere obtained, so not just type Ki sphere, any Ki sphere, including Rainbow. And then Ki plus 5 and forces enemy super attack for 10 turns start from the start of the turn. So 5 Ki, and this doesn't have to be a type Ki sphere. You're always getting the Ultra Super, so that's very good. You don't have to waste too many Ki spheres on this Vegeta. You can save them for another unit on your team. And then forces super attack for 10 turns. I mean, 10 turns is like, they might as well not even have that, because it's, no event's going to last that long with this guy, attacking and stuff like that. But that's a really powerful effect. We talked about it in a previous video where Piccolo had it. And it's very strong because if you have some unit that's not very good at defense, and you have this guy on rotation, you can move this guy or someone else instead to take the hit, rather than just die with a unit that is not really defensively focused. So overall, these guys are really good. They're right now they're like probably the best unit on global right now, especially for Dokkan Festival LRs, and they're in a lot of good categories. So very solid unit. Then we got TN Earthlings category 3 Ki HP attack defense 120. Super attack causes supreme damage and greatly lowers attack and defense, just pretty decent. Ki plus 3 attack and defense 150, plus an additional attack plus 70 when performing a super attack, so that's very good. Obviously his stats aren't as high as the LRs or those kind of units, but 70% on top of 150 is a lot. And then Majin Buu Saga category super class allies, attack plus 130 and defense plus 50. High chance of starting the attack enemy. So this guy is very good. Obviously, he may not link amazing with like some of the Saiyans and that kind of thing, but like 150, 70 attack here, 30 more and 50 defense. This guy's really good. Mainly on Majin Buu Saga, so he's very strong. If you pull him, that's a great one to pull. And he's not going to be like a Dokkan Fest exclusive, so if you just pull him on some random banner, that's really nice. And a high chance of stunning, very good in Super Battle Road. So he's not the best for that kind of event, but like 50 defense, 150, like he's pretty good. You can make it work. And then we got Bardock, Revenge or Low Class Warrior, Ki +4, HP 130, attack and defense 170, Super stacks defense and causes immense damage. Passive is attack and defense 120 plus an additional attack plus 10 per low class warrior ally up to 50. Attacks effective against all types and is a wicked bloodline category enemy. He's alright. I don't think you're gonna have that many low class warrior allies on your team, but if you have like 2 or 3, it's pretty solid. And then this part at the end, I kind of wish that it wasn't this situation. Maybe that's just how it is thematically, obviously, because he fought Frieza. But yeah, other than that, I think he would have been good if maybe there was like some other restriction, not this. It's kind of inconsistent, but he's pretty decent. And the passive, or the active, sorry, can be activated from the 4th turn from the start of battle, or when there's a wicked bloodline enemy. So that's pretty easy. I mean, if you have the wicked bloodline, it's good. And the 4th turn, there's no HP restriction, so that's really nice. And now the super, for Super Saiyan Bardock, raises attack and defense for a turn, and then greatly lowers defense. Passive is attack 180, defense plus 100. Attacks effective against all types and attacking extreme class enemies. So yeah, this is a lot better. Obviously, you're gonna fight super class enemies, but making it this general makes it a lot more consistent. So I wish they had this in the original form as well. And then he gets Ki +3, chance of performing a crit, and evade enemy attack plus 18%, and reduces damage received by 18% for 5 turns. So reducing damage received by 18% is really good. And the key is nice. Evasion and crit. It's not a very high chance, but if you have some potential system stuff, that could be really strong. And then he launches additional. There's a high chance of becoming super, so that's really good. Oh, wait, sorry, 1 second. And all attacks become crits when there's a wicked bloodline. So same thing again. I'm not sure if maybe it's too strong if they made this part also extreme. Extreme class enemy, at least, they fixed it here, but I think that's kind of his weakness, having to rely on, your opponent being a certain category. But yeah, I think he's, pretty decent. Some First Awaken's a good link. You get the attack plus 25. Not many units have it though, but if you can link him with someone with those links, he could be really strong. Next up, we got the SS2 Goku Angel. I believe we've talked about him in a previous video, so I'll just, go through him pretty quickly. So he's more defensive focused because he gets a defense boost when you have more health, and he gets more attack when you have less health, and then he has some key sphere, he gets a little more stats. That's pretty solid. And the transformation is pretty easy to get. Well, it's kind of hard in Super Battle Road. Well, it's not that bad, but you just focus on one enemy, then you can make sure that there's only one enemy that you're fighting, so that you can get that transformation. And he's really good in his transform state, because he does a lot of damage, tanks pretty well, and he has a high chance of stunning. So yeah, he's really good. Then we got Int LR Cell, Android Cell Saga, 4 key, HP attack 150 and defense 170, so some pretty high buffs there. Or he gives Extreme Int, 3 key, HP attack and defense 120. So his super does Colossal and greatly lowers defense, and the second one greatly raises attack and does Mega Colossal. His passive is attack and defense 80, raises defense up to 80 with more HP, plus an additional Ki +1 and attack plus 20% per existing enemy. So Super Battle Road, if there's like 4 enemies, you're getting 4 Ki and 80% attack on top of his passive. And then with your super, you're going to be greatly raising, and then you're raising defense with the other part of the passive when you have high health. So he does a lot of good things here. On release, he was kind of weak, but as everyone says, with the Link level update, he has big bad bosses, Ultimate Life Form, all these, links that make him a lot more powerful, because he's getting the 25% attack and defense if it's level 10. So yeah, I recommend you guys do, if you have him, and you have some other cell you can run with him, like Physical LR Cell, or even STR or Tech Perfect Cell. Make sure to get this to level 10 so you can get that really big boost. And then he evolves when HP is 30% or less, so it happens that you get very low. It's kind of hard to make sure you don't die and stay low, but it's possible. So he does Colossal and massively lowers defense. That's nice. And then he does Mega Colossal and lowers attack and defense. So you do more damage, but you don't lower the stats as much, which is fine. So when you evolve, you fully recover HP, which is a very strong effect. And then he gets 4 key attack and defense 120. Attack and defense plus 20 when attacking with 4 or more key spheres. 20 more when 6 key spheres or more, and then 20 more. Or just attack plus 20 more when 8 or more key spheres. I like the whole key sphere thing, but I just feel like when it's super high, like 6 and 8, it's not very consistent. Like in the previous video, we talked about in the Frieza banner, I believe, Kefla, STR Kefla, she needs like 6 key spheres to like be really good. And when you have that situation, you know, it's very solid, very powerful. But if you don't, you're kind of missing out on the power of the unit. In this case, you're not really missing out on too much, but like it's really hard to pull that off, and you kind of want to be hitting that hard. And the active skill, he greatly raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, and massively lowers defense. And you can activate it when you're facing one enemy. From the third turn after evolution, that's actually very strong because he has such high boosts. So yeah, he's a really good unit. Then we got SS4 Goku. Goku's family 3 key, HP attack 170, defense 130, Super AGL 3 key, HP attack defense 120. So he massively raises defense for one turn and causes Colossal, which is very good. And then the Ultra has massively raises attack and defense and causes Mega Colossal. So very good super attacks. So he gets attack plus 80 and then defense plus 20% at the start of each turn up to 80%. So you're going to need 4 turns to rack that up. And then plus an additional key plus 2 per rainbow or AGL key sphere obtained. So if you get 1 AGL key sphere, since you usually get, if it's the same type, you get 2, but then you get plus 2, so you're getting 4 key from 1 AGL key sphere, which means you're going to easily get your Ultra Super off, in addition with rainbow key spheres. And then medium chance of evading enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. I wish this was high chance. It's really unreliable, but I guess that's how the other SS4 full power Goku was, so yeah. And then the active skill is Mastery raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to enemy. And so that's really good, and then can be activated from the 4th turn from the start of battle. So he's a pretty hard hitting unit. He's not that bad at defense. Obviously it takes some time to get the full defense boost, but he makes up for it with his super attacks being able to help him tank a bit. So yeah, he's still pretty good. Then we got Transforming Goku, Super Class Key plus 3, HP attack and defense 120. He stacks attack and defense and causes immense damage. Attack and defense 80%, reduces damage received by 21%, which is good. And then he transforms from the 3rd turn from the start of battle. So the problem with him, you're getting more attack, but you're losing defense. Obviously, they're increasing this damage received by 1%, but going from 80% defense right here to 60 is kind of a big deal, and that's kind of why I don't like him. Obviously, he's stacking attack and defense, which is nice. Like here, 40% defense, it's kind of bad, and then here is like, this is where it gets really bad in my opinion. Like 20% defense is kind of unbearable with only 24% damage reduction. So I feel like if they had increased this to like 30-40% and still had this low defense, or increased the defense to be honest with you, then he would have been a lot better. He transforms every turn. And here we got the final form of him, God Goku. He does immense with a great chance to stun, which is very good, but in Super Battle Road and stuff, he's not going to get there because he'll just die. So he gets attack 120, reduces damage received by 25%. So they completely eliminated the defense, which is like any unit that doesn't have defense and reduces damage like this, unless it's like 70, 80, 90% reduction, it's not good at all. And he just dies. And the key plus 12 performs a crit once only. That's like okay, but yeah. He's pretty bad, like especially when he gets to this form. I feel like this form is like fine. Like I feel like these two are the worst because you have no 20% defense here. Here you lose the stacking. You can stun, which is like fine. But then some events you can't stun, so you rather have the stacking. And you literally have no defense stat, which is really bad, so they kind of missed out with him. He is older, so that kind of makes sense too. The next one, we got the Int Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. So they cost, they're Potara 3 key, HP attack 170, defense 130, or Int type 3 key, HP attack defense 90. So the first super causes colossal damage, and then the Ultra raises attack for 1 turn and causes Mega Colossal. And the passive is attack and defense 120 at start of turn. Key +2 in addition per Rainbow Key Sphere obtained. That's pretty good. 120 is obviously a very good boost for an LR, or for any unit, you know, that matter. For that matter. And the 2 key, when you get Rainbow, that's really good. Anything with like key +1 per key sphere obtained, or type key sphere, any of that's really good, especially for LRs, because it allows them to, you know, have a higher chance to get the Ultra Super, which in this guy's case raises attack. And then he fuses when HP is 50% or below starting from the 6th turn. The main issue with this guy is you either don't get below 50%, or the stage doesn't even last 6 rounds. And I mean, obviously he was older when he was created, but I feel like this was like 5th turn, maybe 4 turns, a little too strong, especially being that it came out like, you know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I think 5th turn would have been a little better. Then they fuse into Super Vegeta. He still causes Colossal for a big attack. And the next super, he does Mega Colossal and raises all allies attack by 30% for a turn, which is pretty good. And then when you fuse, you fully recover, similar to Incel, which is a very strong effect. And then he counters normal attacks, which is very nice, especially if you have crits in him. And then he gets attack and defense 150, so solid boost. And then key +3 in addition per Rainbow Key Sphere. So he's definitely going to get a lot of Ultra Supers off, which is good, especially if you put him in the first slot. He's taking a lot of attacks, countering, raising the other allies' attack. So yeah, he's a solid unit. Maybe if you have someone who can change Orbs to Rainbow on his team, that would probably help him a lot. And then we got another Vegeta, Majin Buu Saga 3 key, HP, defense 170, attack 130. He does immense and raises allies' attack by 30% for a turn, so that's pretty good. And then he gets damage received from normal attacks minus 50%. He counters with tremendous power, plus an additional attack plus 10% with each attack received. So his main issue is that he only reduces damage from normal attacks, which, you know, honestly, that's not that big of a deal. You'd rather have it for like all attacks. Similar with the last unit. I mean, this guy's like 4 years old almost, like a little under 4 years old for us global players, or I guess 3 years old for global players like me. So yeah, that's kind of bad. And then he needs to like stack his attack. Like he has to be hit 10 times, which is kind of bad. And then he has no defense stat. So any of those defense stat, or the units that don't have a defensive buff in their passive or super or whatever it is, and then reduce damage, I just don't like it at all. They can't really hold their own. And the last unit is another AGL, or another Vegeta. And let's look at his EZA. So he gets AGL type key +4, HP attack defense 100. He causes immense damage and raises allies attack by 35%. So it's a solid boost. And then he gets attack and defense 40% within the same turn after receiving attack. So he has to get hit and then he gets the buff, which I don't really like at all. I wish they'd had him like, you know, like attack and defense plus 40% to start a turn, and then you get like 20 more when he takes his attack, so like you have at least something to go off of. And then he forces enemies super attack when HP is 40% or less. We talked about forcing super attack being a really powerful mechanic, but when his HP is 40% or less, it's like you're probably going to die anyway, and it's hard to be so low. So maybe if it was like 60-70% or less, or even without the, you know, restriction overall, it would have been a lot more powerful. And he came out pretty recently, so yeah, it's not like, oh, he's old, you know, obviously he's not that powerful. He came out like, what, April for us, so that's kind of disappointing. And then he gets damage received minus 80% for normal attack and counters with tremendous power. So minus 80% is very good. You're not going to be taking much from normal attacks, but if this guy takes a super attack, he's going to die in like Super Battle Road in those stages, so yeah, he's okay in those events, as long as you don't get supered or use like a support item to like Baba or something like that. Or Pilaf, I think, is also one. So overall, yeah, this banner had a lot of units to talk about here. I'm happy if you guys are still here watching. There's a lot of units to talk about. Some of these are still relevant. I'd say like this guy not too relevant. He's definitely not. These guys are this LR is pretty decent, honestly. Transforming Goku's okay. I like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's really good. Cell's definitely a really good unit. Goku's obviously newer, so he's very relevant to his meta. Bardock, I haven't seen much of him. I'm sure he's like pretty good. So yeah. And then Tien, he's solid in Majin Buu Saga. I'm just afraid of some of the links he has, but like his stats and the support is very solid. And then obviously these guys are like they're the best unit. Besides the new UI Goku and Vegeta that just came out. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was fun summoning and talking about the units. And next time we'll go and summon the Buhan or Bootanks. You guys can let me know in the comments which one you think he is. And yeah, tune in for next time, and I hope you guys keep watching.